What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fob Talks, Figuring Out Benefits. So, for those of you returning to our channel, we appreciate you coming back. Those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This channel is all about getting out information about benefits and services that are free to veterans. So, the only thing we'll ever ask you to do on this channel is send this information to a fellow veteran that you know, somebody you serve with. Just get the information out to as many people as we can. That's what we're here to do. So, today, I'm wearing my Route Irish T-shirt. It's a happy, sad reminder of some pretty crazy times in my military career. So for my Iraq veterans, we all know what this road is. For those of you that don't, it's basically it's 12 clicks of absolute hell. Is just the easiest way to describe it. So a lot of different names for it. IED Alley, Ambush Alley. I'm sure there's thousands of other names that people called it. I always refer to it as running the gauntlet myself, just because you never know what you were going to experience while you're driving it, and you hope and pray that you made it to the other side. So, this is one of the reasons why I go to mental health, the VA, why I see those doctors. It still sucks though, going to mental health. For those of you that go to the VA for it, you know the struggle. You get new doctors more often than you should, and you have to reopen and rehash those memories. You have months that you're waiting in between visits, which it sucks. I mean, there's just no easy way to say it. It just really does suck. So the question is there some other services out there that you don't have to wait so long in between visits? You can get the same counseling that you get at the VA from somewhere else. Just you have shorter wait time in between your visits. Anybody, not just PTSD for those of us that deal with that, but what about people with military sexual trauma that go to mental health for that as well? I mean, what if there's a place that you could go where you don't have to wait so long between visits? I met a woman a couple years ago. Her husband was in the Marines. He was killed in Afghanistan. And she was asking me about if there's any places where her and her kids could go to get some type of counseling service, like bereavement counseling services. And it got me thinking about it. Is there a place that does exist that does all this stuff? And today I'm here to tell you, yes, it does. And that's the topic of today's video. Today's video is about vet centers. Vet centers are across the United States, or in every single state. So there's a link in the description below to a search engine that will help you find the closest vet center to you. Also in the link below is the national phone number for the vet centers, and they can connect you to the closest vet center to you. So, but what are the eligibility requirements, right, to go to the vet center? It's real simple. It's extremely easy. So pretty much if you're already going to the VA, if you've served on active duty in a combat theater or an area of hostility, you can go. If you provided mortuary services or direct emergency medical care to treat the casualties of war while active duty, so field hospitals, corpsmen, medics, all y'all are good. You can go. If you were a member of a UAV crew, or unmanned aerial vehicle crew that provided direct support to operations in a combat theater or area of hostility, you can go as well. They're there to talk to you. So if you were the National Guard and you were mobilized for some kind of national major disaster, right, or civil disorder, you can go see them. If you were a current or former member of the Coast Guard and you participated in a drug interdiction operation, you can go to them as well. So current reserve members, if you got mobilized, if you're on drill status currently, if you're including the active reserves too. If you're in active reserves, you can go see them as well. So if you got to address any behavioral health conditions or psychological trauma that's related to your military service, you can go see them. Any Vietnam era veterans that used the vet center services before July 2nd of 2013, you can go see them. If you experienced any military sexual trauma, no matter when you served, no matter where you served, what branch you were in, what sex or what gender you are, That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you deployed to combat or not. If you have any military sexual trauma at all whatsoever, go see the vet center. Right? They can talk to you, provide you services that you need. If you're currently using any educational services, any educational assistance programs, GI Bill, Veteran Rapid Retaining Assistance Program, Veteran Readiness and Employment, if you're involved in that stuff, you can go see them as well, right? You say, Kevin, you talked about family members. Like, what about them? So, if you're the family member of a veteran or service member who died while serving on active duty, you can go to them. Okay. If you're a veteran, if you're a family member of a veteran who was using the vet center the time that they passed, you can go see them. And this is one that I really like that they put out there, because we all know, like, at 22 a day, 22 a day doesn't just affect that veteran who took their own life, it affects their families as well. And if you are a member, if you're somebody who is a family member of a veteran who took their own life, you can go see him as well. Okay, please reach out to him and go see him. You don't have to be enrolled in the VA healthcare system in order to go see the vet center and all whatsoever. They'll still see you, right? So even if you haven't done any of that stuff with the VA, you haven't even signed up for them yet, that's fine. If you meet any of those requirements, go see the vet center. Call them up, right? Go check them out. So what do they offer, right? They offer counseling services. They do. My wife will love this part of the video, because let's not kid ourselves. Your spouse deals with your stuff too, right? Whether you think they do or not, because they see how your stuff affects you, and they take that on themselves. They may not know what you did or what you went through or what you saw, but they still take on that load too. And so sometimes they need some help figuring out how to help you better, or how to deal with you better, right? You can go to the vet center and take your spouse with you, and they'll offer you couples counseling. I'm not sure if the VA offers couples counseling. I've never heard of it. If you have, drop it in the comments below. If you know if the VA offers that or not. Again, I don't know if they do. I know the vet center does, and they'll see both of you and help your spouse out to better help you out. The good thing is they'll see your spouse without you as well, if she, if they need to go, just to kind of learn some new tricks or new ways and methods of helping you on your road to recovering and to living a more productive life, living with PTSD or whatever trauma that you have. So, like I said, they do grief and bereavement counseling as well for family members, and for you too. If you lost a buddy in combat or to suicide, and you want to go and talk about that, you can talk about it. So they do mental health care. They do, issues like PTSD, depression, grief, anger, trauma. They have counseling for all that stuff. And you can go in and talk to them. So here recently, I've noticed the VA is really pushing these evidence-based treatments. They've kind of ramped it up the past year or so, I believe. And, I got sent to some different provider, and he sent me to the PTSD clinic at the VA, which I didn't understand what the hell that was all about. But I go, and this lady said, "Why? There's 5 different methods we can use to treat you to help you out." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know you. I do know my therapist at the vet center, because I've been going there for 10 years, and I know my therapist very well there. She's licensed and certified in the same evidence-based treatments that the VA offers. All the therapists and counselors that you'll meet at the vet center, all of them are licensed and certified in one, if not more, of these evidence-based treatments. Go check them out. They can offer the same thing that the VA does. Here's the difference. The only thing that the vet center will not offer and will not give you is medications. If you're going thinking you're going to get meds from them, it's not going to happen. They're not that type of place. Okay, they're just a small counseling center, and they'll help you with treatments as far as depression and PTSD and mental health. That's what they're there for, is counseling services only. So, but they'll also help you out if you have an alcohol problem or a drug problem, right? They have great people there that can kind of help you through that. They can refer you to services that are out there to better help you. You know, if it's just to a point where maybe you need to be hospitalized, or maybe you need, you know, some type of more invasive therapy methods, they can refer you to those methods as well. So it's a great place to be at. It's a great place to go. Like I said, I've been going there for 10 years. In 10 years, I've had 3 different therapists since I've been at the vet center, and the best part about that was every time I got a new therapist, I didn't have to reopen Pandora's box. I didn't have to rehash all this stuff that I don't like talking about, because they keep very good notes and they pass it on to each other, and they read those notes before they see you. So they already kind of have an understanding about you before you even walk in the door when you get a new therapist. But I've known people that they've had the same counselor there for how long they've been going. And I do find that most vet centers that I've talked to is, you know, most of those people stick around for a while. They stick around kind of for the long haul. So that's always a good thing too. If you're, if you know, you're returning back to civilian life, right? Say you're leaving active duty and you're getting ready to transition back to civilian life, go to the vet center. They can help you out. They can help you with that. They can help you, you know, with VA enrollment benefits, filling out military-related disability claims. They can help you connection to employment opportunities, using the VA loan, education benefits, home loans. They can give you a lot of information about that stuff too. It's kind of a not really kind of a one-stop shop. It basically, you know, if you want to go down there and check them out, because they have a lot of information that they can pass on to you, and it's really great too. You know, one thing I liked was my brother. He's in the National Guard, and he was deployed for about 12 months. And when he came back, and those of you in the National Guard, you know, when you come back home, there is no cool off process. There's no, it's one day you're deployed, the next day you're back at your 9 to 5 job in the civilian world. And that can be hard. That can be extremely difficult. Go to the vet center. They can help you with that transition, you know, mentally, to come back into the civilian world. And so it's a great thing that they have as well. You know, go check them out. I really want this video to reach as many veterans as we can possibly reach, because the 22 a day is just, that number's way too high, and we got to get it down to 0 as much as we can. This is a service, and this is a place where if you've been sitting and waiting for the VA to bring you back in for your next appointment, and you need something to fill that gap, and to be honest, maybe you don't want to call the 988 suicide hotline number. And for those of you who don't know what it is, the suicide hotline number is dial 988 and then push 1 for veteran. But sometimes you just don't want to call that number. You want to see somebody in person. Call the vet center. Please call them. Go see them, right? Just call them up. They'll schedule an appointment. They'll tell you whatever you need to bring in for them. And initially, you go to that first appointment. I guarantee you that first appointment you go, you're going to have a session with them. I see them every other week. That's how often you can see them. For the most part, you pretty much dictate when you see them. They'll work around your schedule, whatever schedule you have. They'll work around it. You dictate how the session goes. So if you want to go in there and you just don't feel like talking about your military stuff one day because maybe your job is really getting on your nerves, or your family's kind of just irritating you a little bit, and you just got problems at home, things like that, you can go in and talk about that stuff instead, because all of that stuff will help in your road to treatment and recovery. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. So see the vet center, call them up, go see them, get in there to them. I promise you, it'll save your life. It saved mine. And it made me a better person. My wife and I did couples counseling there. It made us a stronger couple, and it can only stand to help you. So this is one of those benefits and one of those services that we need this to get out to every single veteran that's out there. Active duty members, National Guard, you know, reservists, everybody needs to see this video. So just do me a favor, pass this video on to every single veteran that you know, because you never know when somebody's hurting. You know, I said in my last video, I'll say it in every single one. Make today the day, please, right? Reach out to somebody. that you used to serve with. Reach out to a fellow veteran that you know. Do it today. Check on them today. Don't wait till tomorrow, because we all know firsthand tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us. So reach out to them today. Send them this video, because you don't know if they're hurt or not, if they need this. And I have a feeling there's a lot of veterans out there that need to see this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate y'all watching this video, watching this channel. It is an honor and privilege to count myself as a veteran among all of you. It has been an honor and privilege to serve the same great nation that all of you served as well. I appreciate y'all coming. Stay tuned for next week when we pop our next video on here, and we'll see you then.